Nothing beats having last-second instructions on how to introduce ourselves here.
I'm so confused.
I still don't know
What do we do?
I believe you interview Peeze, but
All right,
I'm not sure on what.
Yeah, you intro me. I intro Peeze. Peeze intros Chris Rivet, who's not here, and
Welcome everyone, Chris Rivet.
all right, Chris.
Hey, Chris, how's it going?
How's it going, buddy? Okay.
All right.
Sorry, sounds from Chris. He
Yes.
sounds like he has IBS.
To be fair,
He has IBS.
I got nothing.
I had nothing either. Welcome to Calling the Audible. It is our first episode of the 2019 season, and we're back. I'm back in the saddle along with these two pinheads to my left,
What's up?
as we are reunited once again for another full fun season of winter football and jargon that will converse through the next 14 weeks, right up to April 13th and 14th for the road show for the 60 and 60 final. My God, that is one of the most brutal weekends to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what I compare that to? It's like watching 6 straight baseball games in a row.
Oh,
And it's like 0-0 for all 6 straight games.
Or if you have Alzheimer's, it's like watching the same baseball game over and over.
Could be.
Then it's
But you
exciting.
don't realize it.
Yeah. So,
What's what
I thought you were gonna say watch 6 games of soccer back to back.
happened?
I'm a big soccer guy.
It's worse than baseball.
No, soccer's a lot more. It's a lot more fun, man. You guys would have fun, man. I think Peace would have fun at the soccer game.
Because of the alcohol.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and
Oh,
party.
at the games, yes.
Yeah, I get. every
Watching
time we
at
go to
home
the
alone?
Impact, I'm not well behaved.
No,
Watching
the
at home
Impact
alone?
game is very subdued. You have to go to European. I'm actually going in May. Actually, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, where are you going?
Liverpool.
Nice.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We'll talk about it in the spring season.
Are they known for trafficking organs or for their pools? Otherwise, it's a misnomer.
That's a good question. I'll find out when I go. Excuse me, sir. Can I have your kitty? Absolutely. Right here. Cut it right there and take it away.
The correct answer is pool. This a kidney pool.
Oh boy.
It's a new form of Uber.
Yes, it is.
I like staring at Mo awkwardly when I landed that joke
I know.
because he doesn't know what to do.
Anyway, let's dive into it. It is 6 and 6D. We are going to be carrying you throughout the next 14 weeks up until the road show on April 13th and 14th. Let's do the proper introduction because our producer Eagle. No Eagle sound. No Eagle sound. None.
He wasn't ready.
Has informed us we must do a formal introduction. So I'm Mo Khan, who will be hosting this with these two pinheads.
I'm Simon Dagenais. I've been FPF for too long now, and we've been doing this podcast for like
Far
5, 6
longer.
years now.
Options weren't clear, Eagle. I'm sorry. We don't know what to
No, where we're
Far
going with
longer
this.
there.
I'm Peeze, and my face is too fat to be pinheaded either in size or quantity.
4K.
You guys are really bad at this.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, we didn't know what to do.
You tell us
Hi,
like 2
I'm
seconds.
Eagle. I produce the show. I've been doing this for a long time. I play in the
Hi.
league in Division 5.
What's a long time?
Really happy to be here to bring you the
Hi,
shows.
I'm-
Tune in
I'm-
every Thursday for this.
Yeah, whatever.
Hi, I'm Peeze, and it's been 24 hours since my last drink.
Hi, Peeze.
Hello, Peace.
Is that
All right.
Chris,
So-
we can't clip this.
So-
We'll try again next week.
So we'll try next week.
You were talking about pinheads, but you would make a great bubblehead.
Bobblehead? Oh, yeah. I'm
You would
already
make
bobblehead.
You would make
I'm
a
human
great
bobblehead.
bobblehead.
And also, we have a new member to this show who's not here this week. He is under the weather. Chris Rivet, who takes over the role of GM, who now becomes the Chris Berman of the show. Who he does like monologues of like past football games.
Kind of.
Hey, let's go back to 2011. Simon Dagenais throwing 5 INTs.
Pretty sure that was last week.
Or last night, for that matter.
So if we have like
I was not playing
a fireman's catalog but of FPF media members, is every month just GM?
Well,
I mean,
you don't want
pool.
you don't want either of us to be there.
The Liverpool to choose from, so to speak, is not very it's
No.
not great.
We're
No.
not starting off with like Stefano and Moa, like the scorekeeper cover, you know?
The scorekeeper edition.
January,
Field 3.
January Stefano.
Well, maybe Mo back in those white Under Armour days.
oh,
Yeah,
wow.
man, put that up, man.
W-
Retro.
There you go. That's the January.
Retro. All right, boys, let's dive into it. So today's just a very laissez-faire, we don't really care episode where we talk about the
cares?
teams.
What do you mean you don't care?
Well, I mean, we pretend
10%
to
of the
care.
season's done.
It is. Well, actually, not all the teams played, so only
Well, some teams couldn't play,
couldn't play.
but they should have
Yes,
played.
which we'll
anyways.
explain furthermore in this episode for those who will be impacted by this unforeseen situation at Saint Laurent from Monday nights, and we'll explain that at the end of the broadcast. So let's dive into it, guys. Div 6, 6D. We talked about 6D and 6. Initially, Div 6 was the developmental league, which was, in 2014 when it first came about?
2015.
Yeah, 2015, so about 4 or 5 years ago. And now 6D, which came about 2 years ago, I believe, right? Or a year and a half ago?
3?
3 years ago.
I think it's the third
Even
winter.
better. So the third winter. We'll say two winters minimum. Gentlemen, we dive into this
This
year.
is why we had GM.
GM, where are you?
This is why we need him on the show.
Absolutely need GM. So let's dive into it, guys. Before we get into the week that was for both 6 and 6D, what's your outlook for these two divisions, starting with 6D? Are we going to see better flow of players? Is it still going to be one of those leagues where we're going to say, all right, guys, don't worry about it. Get him next time?
So one thing to note is that because you start in 6D, it doesn't mean you'll end in 6D, and same with 6. We're reclassifying teams at playoff time. Eagle, I don't remember the breakdown, so if you can fill us in.
I have it right here, sir.
So 1 to 8 in Division 6 will remain in Division 6. 9 to 12 in Division 6 get relegated down 4 seeds. So if you're 9 to 12, you end up being 13 to 16.
Mm-hmm.
Seeds 13 to 16 get relegated down to 6D and occupy seeds 1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 to 4 seeds in Division 6D slot in and get promoted to seeds 9 to 12.
I'm
Division
confused by
6.
these numbers now.
Yeah.
Like, you
So
lost me.
for those
You
who
lost
are
me at the 9
for
to 12.
those who are like Mo and are confused, and myself, by the way, as well, there's an article written by yours truly about it, and an awesome graphic that I did not design, but it's actually super great, and it's the only way I actually understood it to write the article. So
Basically, the
take a look
best
on the Flag Plus football website.
the best 4 teams in 6D
Get promoted.
promoted.
And then
The worst 4 teams
Playoff
that make
teams.
playoffs
Playoff teams.
get demoted. Relegated.
Relegated, yes.
And then we don't just swap them straight up, right? So it's not like the 4 and 4 switch. We actually have a way of shooting people down such that you're not like automatically penalizing the teams that get promoted by having to play the best
Yeah,
team
the
in
best
Div
4
6.
teams from 6D don't go to the bottom to play the
No.
best teams from Div 6. They're in the middle of the bracket.
Yeah,
basically.
what we did, and this was a test trial last year with the spring season with Division E, it was, I believe, right? We had the promotion relegation system, is that there is a committee that's independent that does not have any connection. So, for example, last spring it was Simon, Stefano, Berardi, a scorekeeper, and myself that helped put the pieces of the puzzle together. Unfortunately, all those teams that moved up got cracked.
No, that's not true.
That's
Well,
not
actually, the
true.
teams that moved down got cracked. That was what. That's what it
One
was.
Speed Power was 6 points away from making the final.
I know, and that
And
would
having
been,
moved up, you know what I mean? So and we did see the top teams from
Always talking about himself.
No,
Always.
that was the team
Well,
that made it
facts are facts,
furthest of the
Simone.
promoted teams. Of the relegated teams, the Ducks actually won the
Won?
final.
Yeah.
So they were relegated, moved down, and they actually won the cup.
So now, for those who are still in confusion, read Peace's article that will unveil the whole bracket. But there is an independent, I guess, college football committee, but in the FPF format.
There's no committee this time.
Oh, there's no committee?
No committee.
Even better.
We
It's
don't get
done
to choose.
automatically.
All right, perfect.
We don't
Even
get to
better.
choose.
We don't get to choose our top 14, top 15.
I mean, you'll do it. I'll just throw out your ballots in the garbage.
Yeah. Oh, great stuff, guys. Great stuff.
Cool. Thanks for all the work you
All
put
right,
in.
guys.
So we'll do it anyway.
Eagle, where's the fire basket? That's right,
By
fire
the way,
basket.
Can we-
I've put
we
the
do that?
breakdown on the screen, so if you're watching, you'll be able to see it. Otherwise, read
So
the
it's on
article.
the screen right now about the format. So again, in Division 6, the bottom 4 playoff teams get relegated to the 6D playoffs, and the top 4 teams from 6D get promoted to the 6 playoffs, and then from there it's going to be allocated to the proper number of where they should be. So Peeze and Simon, I'll ask you, Simon, what do you expect from year 2 of the promotion relegation playoff system? Do you think this will make it even closer in terms of the competition that we'll have?
Well, the one thing that I found with this delegation system is that it was
delegation.
relegation. You know what I meant. Jeez.
So like we're sending like a group of people to a foreign country.
Delegation.
We're sending Mocha into UK.
We're 10 minutes in, and already we have a first Simonism.
So, anyway, the way I see it is, like P said earlier, the team that moved up from Division 6D last time we did this ended up playing the best teams in Division 6 altogether and were sort of crushed. right? Like it wasn't pretty games, and some of them were not necessarily close. So by moving them in the middle instead of necessarily at the bottom, or giving them a chance to play teams that are not necessarily as strong as that 10-0 team in Division 6, and it should make for better games altogether. Also for that 10-0 team, right? If you finish number 1 in Division 6, you shouldn't be playing the number 1 seed in the other, let's
Side
say,
of the
division
bracket,
conference.
What also makes it interesting is that if you're trying to tank to get into the 13 to 16 seeds, well, 1, you're risking getting eliminated, and 2, if another team tanks quote unquote better than you, well, then you end up in the 9 to 12 and actually end up playing the harder seeds. So there's this whole like weird strategy game now when it comes to actually having to play your schedule.
In the end, what we're trying to do is when teams register for Division 6, we don't have a lot of information about the players. There's a lot of unforeseen circumstances. We don't know how they'll adapt. We don't know. There's no way we can know every player's background. So we're trying to make the decision when we're armed with more information and we have a sample size of 10 games. So now that we have the information, we're trying to find the best way to do it. And it is the third attempt, and all of them have been successful to a degree, and we'll continue to work on it. If people have suggestions for future seasons on how we can do this, we're all ears.
Of course, always.
Because it's, it's a developing process, and it's going to change from season to season.
So does this format encourage teams that do get promoted from 6D to 6, and let's say they get one playoff win? Does that mean it's been a success for this format to say this team can now play in a hard division?
I think so, because I don't think the teams in 6D are necessarily worse than the teams in Division 6 because we don't know know enough about them. We put them in there. For all we know, it could be a group of NFL players. We'd hope not, but that because the ratings are set up the way they are, when a team of all 55s joins FPF, that's the intro rating for a Division 6 player, we have no idea what their football backgrounds are. We have no idea how good they are, how well they'll adapt to FPF. So the assumption that 6D teams are automatically worse was proven wrong in the spring, which is great because that's what we wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the first time we divided 6 and 6D, we left the teams as is, and the playoffs were atrocious. It was the first round was just blowout.
Yeah, I was very like, my God, we made it terrible.
Oh my
terrible.
Not even the playoffs, but just the regular season too. That was bad. And I think just statistically, we've checked every single season since the first one, obviously, and every year we've tried to do things to try and make them more competitive. And to, I would say, a success. We consider a blowout anything where there's more than 18 points difference between the teams at the end of the game, excluding forfeits. And so in that window, we've managed to be able to reduce the regular season percentage by, I think, double digits, where I think it's approximately 5 to 10%. I can't remember the exact numbers of games are blowouts, as opposed to be like 20% or something. So there was a large difference that we managed to do. We just haven't solved the playoff problem yet. So we think that last year was a good try, but that we still somewhat missed to a degree. So we think this one might be a better way of actually doing it for handling those 60 teams that we know nothing about that are just powerhouses, not just having them crush everyone in the rest of the list, but actually giving them a challenge.
So what's the reaction from those 6D teams? When was this something that was informed to them to say, hey guys, just to give you the heads up?
The information was put out before the season.
And what was the reaction?
I had a lot of questions, to be honest. People wrote to me directly to ask questions because I wrote the article. Overall, people are interested, and it's not as confusing as the promotion and relegation of the Fall Cup. So they're not as weirded out by it as they are because it's still a full regular season and all that. So what has happened is they definitely required more clarification, but I don't think anyone is particularly scared or worried. My worry is that, maybe the fourth 6D team, maybe they had an easy schedule and move up. Now we're not analyzing schedules the way we did because we actually had a schedule analyzer last season.
We had big money to do that.
That showed us. Big money is we gave Eagle a cheeseburger. And
it wasn't even good.
Does he not look like a drummer for like a grunge band? That looks.
Is he on camera? So
Yeah.
otherwise, okay. Yes. And for those listening, yes. But so the thing is
Not a very
that
good band.
No.
the thing is that we
Coldplay.
it's something we have to
Slipknot.
continue working on because we haven't, as Eagle said, found a solution. And now that might be an issue too, is that some team might just play 7 of their 10 games against bad teams and beat them, but then now they play in divisions. When they move to the Division 6 playoffs, they're going to struggle because they haven't faced a team anywhere near that caliber.
Yeah, but
That's something to consider as well.
Also doesn't mean the format that we use in the spring could have been the right one all along. We're
Mhm.
just trying something new to see. Like, right? We don't know if that format was ideal or not. We don't think it was, so we're trying
I
something
mean,
else.
everyone knows the BCS format was ideal in the first place
Yeah.
when they did it in college football. So why wouldn't it be ideal?
But we're trying something new. If it doesn't work, we could always revert back to what we did, or it could be a new combination of having a committee, but like implement seeds differently, or it doesn't mean this current format's going to be the one we're going to go with for the rest of times.
All right, guys. Let's look at the teams, and not to get too in depth here, but looking at Div 6,
6 or 6D.
we'll go with Div 6 first.
Okay.
Who in your mind are I know it's 1 week, and it's overreaction with us all the time. Like, my
Mhm.
God, this team is so amazing.
That's
They're
what
going to
we
win
do.
it. So, in our overreaction analysis, who do you believe, or which team or teams do you believe are the favorites in Div 6 to be a top-tier seed in the playoffs?
You want to go first, Peeze?
Sure.
Because Simon's never prepped.
I played against Warriors last night. I was very impressed with what I saw. There's a lot of speed. A lot of teams in Division 6 don't have
When it comes to
Thank you, Eagle.
that much depth.
All right. He's watching some sort
I
of
hate
YouTube
autoplay
video.
videos.
Dirty Landry has a stupid name, but Avery Lala is quarterback in Division 6, which last time he played well.
But is that a mismatch, though, for him to be in Div 6?
No.
Does that not stunt his growth as a quarterback?
No.
I don't think so.
In flag, I don't think he's that much better than a Div 6 quarterback yet.
Also, 6 is stronger than people believe.
Yeah. Like, the weakest thing about Division 6 is not the defenses, it's the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
And so
it's
he's a
the
good quarterback,
offenses,
but
yeah.
he's still playing against teams that in a lot of cases can compete. I'm not saying they'll win Div 5B, let's say.
No, but there's
But
some good
they'll
defenses in
compete.
there. They
But
know what they're doing.
We've
and
always heard, though, in the NFL, there's only like 5 all alpha male quarterbacks, right? So how many true legitimate quarterbacks are there in Division 6 that you think is good? Is there like 3? Is there 4 quarterbacks? Is there maybe more than that? Without specifying names in your mind.
I think it goes about 5 deep.
And everyone else is just average.
I think
below
the
average.
thing is, in Division 6, there are good quarterbacks, but they all have flaws.
Okay.
And, for example, Avery Lala has the least flaws, but his flaws is that he's not a flag quarterback.
not yet.
Not yet. He's the one who has the most potential and will achieve the most in FPF, but he's just at a point where he's still making reads and throws like a tackle quarterback.
So in 6D, Simo, would you rather have a team that has like an amazing quarterback and a really below average team, or would you rather have a sound team with an average quarterback?
I'd rather have a sound team with an average quarterback in the lower division. Something we've seen recently with a team like Green Monster didn't have a stellar quarterback, but the team around them was very good, and they were able to sort of compensate for that. If when you move up divisions, and we're looking at Division 1, 2, 3, you really need like a very good quarterback to get away with it. But in the lower divisions, sometimes you're able to win games 12-6.
Or in their case, 19-2 against Pension Plan.
Yeah, you're able to win these scrappy games without scoring necessarily 30 points per game. So you need a quarterback that's sufficient that won't necessarily turn the ball over too often, but he doesn't need to score on every drive. So you could get away with punting the ball a few times, even though your quarterback's not necessarily the best, and you'll still end up with wins 19-18, for instance.
Oh, I thought I was waiting for Peeze to follow up.
you
I was looking at Peeze.
Because you asked
I thought you
Simo
were
that
eager to
question.
get it.
You asked Simo that question directly. I still think that if you have a capable quarterback off the bat, then you're at a huge advantage.
Well, it helps.
Especially in 6D.
But comparison was a very good quarterback with a bad team, or a good team without a strong quarterback.
The thing is, if you even understand, especially specifically the 6D, if you even understand like proper play calling concepts, you'll dominate games in 6D without even having studs. You only need a fast player.
So the play calling is more important than the actual plays of the
Well, I'm
quarterback.
not saying
Execution
thrower of
plays.
the ball. I'm
Yeah.
saying quarterback.
Yeah, so the calling plays and being like the focal point of the offense rather than actually like the arm that throws the ball.
Correct.
Yes.
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 Because we're talking quarterbacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Tell me
that
the
we're talking,
execution of the play.
I know we're talking to someone who doesn't read the field well and doesn't call good plays.
I don't know.
And has a strong arm, so therefore
Fourth
There's a
all-time
message
leading
this
passer.
morning.
that's why he's gonna actually break it down that way, obviously. But yeah, calling plays and reading defenses is super important. I don't know if you heard.
I don't know. I saw this message this morning of you saying that was great. So
So,
I
do you
could put it up right now.
which division, 6 or 6D, will have the undefeated team? Do you think there's going to be undefeated at all, or do you think this is so much parity we have now that we're not going to have any undefeated?
6D has a chance. I don't think it happens. 6 is the most parity I've seen since we've introduced Division 6 and E.
I think both divisions going to have at least one, just because of you don't get to play every single
So
team.
who are they?
If they were like
Is NWO, for example, in 6, who've been mainstays in 6?
From what I've seen, well, for a very small sample size, Dog Pound's a very good team.
Who?
Right? Dog Pound's a very good team.
Channel 4 News team, what about them?
Right? I mean, overall, I think that since there's 24 teams, there's a chance that you get to play 10 teams that are not necessarily in the top 4. Right? Like, if there's 24 teams, you're playing only 10 of them. You could be playing the 10 worst teams in the division by the end of the season, and you could go 10-0 just because you had an easier schedule. Doesn't mean you're the best team in
Well,
the
here's a
division.
good question for you boys, right? Since we're talking about rankings and all that stuff, let's say we have a team that goes 10-0, and those 10 teams that lost to T-Max were 0-100, or like 10-90. So are we going to devalue them as being a legitimate win?
Well, again, it doesn't matter this season because
Right.
there's just no.
No, but I'm saying, though, do we look at that saying, well, hey, they had an easy schedule, but we really think
Well, that's what we're gonna do because that's the thing.
what we do.
that's what we argue about?
And then if they win, they're like, oh, but they're gonna lose the next one. Prove it again, and then prove it again is the thing we do because that's the easy move. But look, we look at that in every division that we cover, except for Division 1 and 2 because there's such small divisions that it's not possible to have an easy schedule.
No, because everybody plays everybody at least once, right? If we had a 10-team division, you couldn't use that argument saying you could have an easy schedule. Everybody has the same schedule. But in these cases, there's a chance that a team like Channel 4 News team plays 9 out of 10 teams that are in the bottom 10, right? So we'll see. I think it's a discussion to have around week 6 or 7 when we have more information on every single team to say whether or not this team had an easy schedule coming to the season. It's not it's nobody's fault. You play whoever you have on your schedule, but that 10-0 record might be a little bit flawed.
So going to this blind date with 6D, is there a team that has caught your attention then from after the first week of the season? Llama Pajamas.
You know which one? the greatest defense in the history of FPF.
Yeah, and the rest of your football.
History of
Bud
football.
Knights.
Bud Knights.
All right.
Bud Knights.
Like they did shut down a good team in B-Ballers. B-Ballers was one of those teams where they technically qualified for Division 6 and not for 6D and not 6, despite the fact that we had advanced knowledge, knowing that there's a lot of good players. They only had 2 FPF veterans on the team, so therefore they qualified for 6D, and a potential candidate for being bumped up into Division 6 for promotion into the playoffs.
Well,
However,
they came in with a cock full of confidence.
Did you say cockful?
Yes.
a whole chicken full,
Oh, okay.
a whole male
It's
chicken.
Yeah,
an
that's what I
actual.
thought.
It's an actual expression, is it not?
Cock? Eagle, look
I'm
up
pretty
the
sure
cock
it
full of
is.
confidence.
Is that
I'm
South
pretty
Carolina
sure it is.
Gamecock expression? I don't know.
But they listen. Just to shout out any team in FPF is difficult to do. Like this.
Not when you have the best defense
Why?
in the history of
Listen.
Fred.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so if you're going to proclaim and give the heavyweight belt to Bud Nuts for the best defense, so over under 100 points to give up this year. So there's 9 more games left.
Under.
Under
100.
Under 100?
So
Yeah, 100
Oh,
points.
hard under 100 is?
Yes.
that is impressive. If they give up less than 100 points,
Yes.
that means
Listen, last season I said the exact same thing, and they lost the following week by like 30 points. I looked like an idiot.
So-
But this year, I'm back in the bandwagon. But Knights is gonna. I'm not saying they're gonna go 10-0. I'm saying their defense is gonna be great.
So are they going to give up less than 100 points? That's my question to you.
Actually, yeah. Well, I'll say yes.
Quick update. So I Googled expression cockful of,
Yeah.
and my search results are NSFW. So no, this doesn't exist.
No. Okay.
You read it up.
Right.
I'm sure I heard that before. Use Urban Dictionary.
Yes, we'll go to Urban Dictionary for that one.
Yeah, let's not use Urban Dictionary.
No, we won't.
I mean, it's better than Google Image.
Okay, do you think there could be? All right. Google image. This guy. Do you think there could be an offense that could explode in Div 6D? Is it the Migos or is it someone else?
Honestly, give me DGC.
yeah.
I thought they could have competed in Division 6. They were only relegated to 6D because we needed an even amount of teams to compete in Division 6. and they had, of the remaining teams that qualified for Division 6, they had the worst track record. So they went down. So now Fode Evangelista is back from his ACL tear. So I know it's his first season back, but he's still an excellent piece on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Who's played higher divisions now, playing in the lower division.
Yeah. Massimo Canucci is an excellent player. Andrew Di Mele is very fast. And Sean Martin is improving, and he's learning that famous Joey Taylor football system. So I like this offense a lot. I think that especially in 6D, I don't know if they're ready for a Division 6 playoff, but I think they'll do very well in Division 6D. I think they're going to get promoted. They're going to be in the top 3 the entire season.
How about the potatoes?
I don't know.
Potato.
I don't know if it was just good matchup or if the team's really this good.
Potatoes. First of all, great name.
Yeah.
Second season.
You really are on that potato thing, huh?
Potatoes. But listen.
JJ Costantini is a very good player, but I just feel like the team's kind of thin.
Yeah, but if it's a small sample size, but any quarterback that goes 10 through 16 usually it's good, right? Like he's able to complete most of his passes. Most of these are not like there's a 40 bomb, but there's also a lot of short passes, which shows
It's not a lot of short passes because every second completion was a touchdown.
Which is
Yeah,
a good
'cause they had
sign
a
for
short
the post
field.
defense.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, I don't know if this is because they played a bad team or if
No,
it's because
okay, I see what you mean.
they're good. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
From purely looking at the box score, I would say that they're not just one dimensional. Of if we don't have the 40 bomb, we don't score at all.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're one dimensional because they have one very good player, and eventually teams will be able to shut that down.
If they can.
They will. Every nobody has someone who's not shut downable
I mean,
because you could double team that person.
Or triple team. Bracket coverage.
quad team. Super team.
I actually faced bracket coverage this week. It was cool. I'd
On
never
you?
seen that in Div 6.
On you?
Yeah, against me.
Oh, man. That
No, as a quarterback.
No. I thought
They-
as a snapper, like, well, I mean, you don't need that.
No, but they left the snapper alone and they literally played 3 guys on one side of the field. They played a triangle.
One quarterback
Yeah.
in 6D that can have a Pat Mahomes type of impact this year.
50 touchdowns?
Yeah, so when I reference Pat Mahomes, everyone knows who he is. For those who are not CFL
Who is
fans.
he, Mo?
Quarterback for
CFL?
the Kansas City Chiefs.
He's actually doing his job properly, all right? Don't give a shit when he actually does shit properly.
So when we look at Pat Mahomes, 50 touchdown passes and a blowout year. So could it be a guy like Benjamin Reed who can be the Pat Mahomes of this division?
I think it's going to be Olivier Godard of Llamas Pajamas.
Llamas pajamas.
I mentioned Sean Martin before. I just think the pace of the game will be too slow for him to put up those kinds of numbers. Olivier Godard is one of the hardest throwers in the division. And again, it's a thing that's not common in the division. So teams will not see it for 9 weeks. And the 1 week they face him will have to face a guy who's got an absolute rocket. I think that gives him a huge advantage.
I think there's a chance in a guy like Feinberg who's able to put up.
But that's 6.
Yeah,
Then we're talking about 6D.
60.
they're both Division 6. They're both allowed.
Under the umbrella, he's got a point under the umbrella.
Under the umbrella of Division 6. I think there's a chance just because of
I did-
how fast their
I
offense
never
plays.
got to hate you so quickly in a year, in a calendar year.
Like this fall
Well,
cup.
I mean, you call me at midnight every time, every New Year calendar. So there's a chance.
There's a lot of alcohol involved.
there's a chance you hate me in the first 5 minutes of a New Year.
Yeah. No.
This
This is the quick
There's a
one.
solid chance.
How many
but-
days? How many days are we in?
It's like January 10th.
10 days. 10
10 days.
10 days for me to hate you.
Not long.
But yeah, I would say just because of how quickly they play on offense. Like it's a quick offense that's turning the balls over a lot, but they also score fast. So he's going to be able to put up 50 touchdowns with 20 picks.
All right, so we're going to go with our predictions now. Starting next week, we'll get more in depth with angles and storylines for the weeks 2 and beyond.
This week there are 2 articles coming out, Division
Yes.
6. It's a new division they may not know. There's myself writing one of the articles. Marc-André Delaunay is running the French article. So in there we have actually in-depth breakdowns of, I believe between the 2 of us we'll have 8 to 10 games broken down per week.
It's pretty good.
Plus predictions that will appear in his article and power rankings which will appear in my article.
To simplify that, I'll just do like a Crips note on the Facebook wall for the FPF group, and you can read it like that. 2 words. Peeze, Marc-André. That's
Yes.
3 words.
And link the articles, please.
I'll hyperlink that for sure. So check it out. So Peace's got his article out along with Marc-André Delaunay. They will be your 6 and 6D writers for the season. So John, let's get into the finals. Obviously, we can't forecast who's going to play where, but I'll ask you right now, who do you think can win 6D and Div 6 this year? That's all. One team.
Oh, Division 6 Hot Sauce Sports is winning. Period. Done.
Listen, guy,
Look,
you can't even win a game.
I don't. It's week one. Week one doesn't matter. Week one's irrelevant. Division 6. It's already been decided. Everyone can just go home. Division 6D. Now, Division 6D, will it be a team being relegated? Or a team that's currently in
That's
Division
why.
6D?
So it could be it's any team you think. So you can pick a Div 6 team to win 6D or vice versa to win 6.
Because it's going to go Bud Knights, but there's a good chance to get promoted and get smacked by Hot Sauce Sports.
How about the Brewers?
No.
The Brewers?
And the Brewers are your spring/winter final.
BDI,
champions.
maybe.
They are really good dudes. I like them, and they're learning, and they have a road ahead of them.
Just
Give me Zone 6 ballers
oh,
to move down, and Jensly Valbenard win the championship for them, Division 16. I like that dude.
All right.
I like him a lot.
Give me potatoes.
Runs like a tall gazelle.
tall gazelle.
Just not like a regular one, like a giraffe-sized gazelle. He's not that tall, but he runs that way.
Okay.
So he runs like Forrest Gump.
No, like a giraffe-sized gazelle. You know those questions like, would you rather fight a
Kangaroo.
gazelle-sized giraffe or,
What kind of questions do you have?
It's a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses.
or a giraffe-sized gazelle?
Or a gazelle-sized giraffe.
No, it's not.
Who you got?
I got potatoes in Division 6.
Guy,
Okay.
I understand animal
'Cause I think
crackers
they're
is
gonna
your
be-
reference point for biology.
Oh,
You need
Peeze
to
is
learn
upset.
something,
Yeah, Peeze is mad now.
He's upset.
I think that I'm gonna go with like potatoes because they're gonna finish like 6th seed. They're not gonna get promoted up to Division 6,
That's a good shot. Yeah. I can see that.
and they're gonna be one of the stronger, like higher seeds in Division 6D facing lower teams, and they're gonna be able to sneak by to the championship.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there
What
you
about
have
you,
it. I will go in Division 6. I'm not going with Bud Knights because that's too of a Simon Dagenais, like over the top. I
Number
love
one
these
defense.
guys
Of all
Um,
time.
of all time.
Ever.
Since
uh,
Moses.
I'm gonna go with DGC to
Oh,
win
interesting.
6.
To win 6?
Yeah, 60. A big
All
one.
right.
60. Sorry, my bad.
I like them. I don't know if I like
I
them
was
that
like,
much.
wow, that's a real bulk
I was
proclamation
shocked.
over there.
It's like okay.
He's like, I'm not gonna go over the top. I'm not gonna go over the top.
Oh, it's tough.
DGC is gonna win Division 6.
And then,
Maybe
you know
Division
what?
3.
Maybe.
And in 6, they're gonna love me for this, even though they're gonna like break my heart again. The Warriors.
It's not the same Warriors.
Yeah, it's not.
I know.
All right.
Just so you know.
I know.
I don't think he knows.
I don't
Oh, I
think he
know
knew till now.
Giddy up. All right, so guys, check out the Peaze's article along with Marc-Andre Deloney. They'll have articles up every
Friday.
Whenever they come
Friday.
out.
Friday. Every whenever mine should be on Fridays because then I run out of time.
Yeah, Friday.
Before Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're playing. Read the article as you're playing. So the articles will be up at the...
Pre-game dump. Read it.
There you go. Thursday,
Mine's long, so if you have like food poisoning, I'm your guy.
Thursday, Friday, or
Food
Saturday
poisoning.
afternoon will be the article
If
launch.
you have food poisoning, they're not long shits.
No, but you're there often, so you can read it in
Yeah.
segments.
And visit the Facebook group. And announcement also just before we go off air
Or if
here.
you're plugged up, same thing.
Exactly. So for those who have St. Laurent Monday night games, unfortunately there was a little of a fumble from whoever's side. Probably
On
our
field
side.
3 only.
Well, that's the thing, right? They're going to do a random draw. So what it
Oh.
is now, it was supposed to be 3 fields of games, but it's only 2 fields of games. So that means a total of now 27 games will be rescheduled on the last week, quote unquote, the 11th week of the season or 12th week of the season now. What are the 11th week of the season? So be on the lookout. Look for your emails, team captains from Robert Campana, who will notify the teams who have been impacted by the Monday schedule in St. Laurent that will have you guys play the week of March 18th on either a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday to make up for the lost dates. Monday or Wednesday to make up the lost dates of the Monday schedule that was supposed to be 3, but not now is 2 fields. So
Tuesday would make the most sense because then you have no conflicts.
yeah, never they can simplify that thing. They never.
But then there's
It's-
also no
it-
fields.
It's because we actually do have field space available on those days
Oh, we do?
because
Okay.
of our thing. Tuesday, it's not as easy. So
Okay.
All right, so this be on the lookout for captains who have games on St. Laurent on Monday nights to be aware of your schedule moving forward. That your game could be rescheduled for March 18th.
It's a really big one you got to push out. That'll take some time. You can read the article.
Perfect.
Like
All
if you
that-
had like a big heavy lasagna.
All this time
Yeah.
for this.
Without further
I was thinking
ado,
the last time I had lasagna, dude. I was in there a while.
the magic words, please.
Ooh, I might have to find like 6 magic words now.
Good night, Alabama.
Yo.
Or like bad tacos. Again, not long,
Bad
but lots
Taco
of
Bell.
trips. Taco Bell, yeah,
Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell, but man, Taco Bell doesn't love me.
Or what's that fiesta they got at Red Lobster when there's just way too much food? Like
I
lobster.
finish it.
Yeah, it's awful though.